Manmanani, Dumelang, Mulweni Huyanan, hello, it's the Wednesday and we are back with another video. What are we doing today?
Well, Tyla, trending on the US right now.
Yeah.
So they keep referring to her as black.
Yeah.
But she insists that she's not black, she's colored.
Yeah.
And Americans don't want to hear none of that.
Yeah.
So let's just check out this quick clip and then you tell me what you think about this whole situation.
Okay.
So black Americans are refusing to call Tyla colored because in America it's a slur. And I don't understand. It's not like we're asking them to call each other slurs. We're not asking them to make songs called Coloreds in Paris, start a group called CWA, Coloreds with Attitude. We're not expecting you to walk around greeting each other, what's up, my coloreds? We're not asking Quentin Tarantino to start using the C word in his movies. We respect that you don't use slurs in your daily life. But the world is bigger than you. Black Americans are not the main characters everywhere. The world is not a Tyler Perry movie. This is Tyla's movie, and in Tyla's movie, she identifies as a colored. Maybe it should be the LGBTC. You can't erase a whole identity to suit your comforts. Don't be like the people who took you to America. A wise man by the name of Joey Rasdin once said, "Make the circle bigger. There's Wakanda forever." Tyla is what kind forever. Don't be an N-word. Nair, be aware. I'm done arguing with people who think Africa is a country. Fuck Michael Owen.
I'm like, what do you say fuck me for?
Well, I have no stress about like the colors complaining about even like non-colored South Africans, well, South Africans in general are fighting this whole thing because it's wrong.
Yeah.
So the main thing about America, and this is what most people hate about America, is like they like to insert their views
onto something.
This is not the first time.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
My biggest qualm with America was when like they would insert like the LGBTQ views into countries where they are not about that.
Absolutely.
Where they ban that, where they hate that. So most Muslim countries are religious based.
Yeah.
Right. So when in their religion they say no to gays and no to all this transgenderism stuff and all this stuff like that, but the Americans, when they go there, they don't respect their cultures. They raise the flags and promote gayness and all that kind of stuff like that. And now they're doing the same thing with this Tyler situation.
Absolutely, which is wrong. But if you think about it, the world kind of gives America that. If you get what I mean.
Americans just have a superiority complex.
Yes.
Because they believe they're the world leaders, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Leaders of the free world and all that shit like that, you know, and the best country in the world, you know. The propaganda that they feed themselves is also the propaganda that they feed us.
Yeah.
Right? They believe they're the best country in the world, leaders of the free world, all that kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
They have that superiority complex to think that if we think this way, everybody else in the world should think this way. That's how Americans
Okay, so apart from their complex, right? What they're also arguing in the situation, which I'm not saying they are justified, but they're saying that, like, I think what icks them the most is that this whole classification, right? Think of it in a perspective of, let's say you were them for a second, right? All non-whites are black, basically. Like, consider, unless you're like Latino or something like, which is very odd because they have no problem with, you know, Latinos being Latinos and not classifying them as black, but anyway, like in their shoes, all non-whites is black, right? One, with them also having the history that they have with the colored word, right? And what it means to be colored, you know, and now fast forward, you will kind of look at that as we don't want to entertain that because it's further feeding into like division.
So the main basis of all of this is that cool to them it's a slow word.
Yes.
Slow. That's why they're like, okay, I'm not gonna call her colored. Because it's a slow word. It's a slow word to me, so I can't call it. So now if you would apply that same logic to like the LGBTQ people, right? To me, a transgender doesn't exist. To me, it doesn't exist. So do I have the right to say that you are not a transgender? Do I have that right?
I think also what kind of doesn't sit well with them. It's where this whole colored classification comes from to begin with.
That's not up to you. You could at the same if you Tyla, you're playing moral police at that point.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
That's true. Like, accept it for what it is. Yes. This is what it is right now.
Yes.
Just like how you, subsequent to whatever, you are classified as black. You know what I mean? You could have been classified as anything. Right? But we're not going to go back and go and argue why you were classified black to begin with. But that's an identity that you've accepted to being yourself because of your experiences, because of your history, because of where you come from. So it's only fair that you give another group or another culture that respect.
For most other people in the world, if you go to a certain place, right, and you are told this is how things work here.
In Rome, do as the Romans
do. Yes, you respect that.
Yes.
And like most other people in the world do that.
So that's why they say in their country, they will not acknowledge her as colored because in their country, she's black. She will be colored in South Africa. So is that fair?
Fine.
Is that fair?
If that is fair, then in Ghana, where they reject LGBTQ where they reject that LGBTQ community outright.
Yeah.
If they feel that way, then you as an American cannot have a say in that at all.
Well, it should probably be like that because that's why there were always talks of rather move to a country where you can openly
if you go to the Middle East and you're busy running around with your pride flag and they kill you, don't be out here protesting. Why did you do that?
Well,
right?
Well, I mean,
let's apply that. Let's apply that rule. Let's apply it.
Yeah.
Let's apply it. So cool. If they say, okay, we're not gonna call Tyla colored in America or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. That's fine.
Then
but everywhere else,
women in Arabic countries are not oppressed.
Yes. Women in Arabic countries are not oppressed. Yes.
I think now it's just getting to the point of like there's also now conflict with themselves. Like okay, like those examples of them being hypocrites are sort of shining now.
Yes, they're the biggest hypocrites ever. Like ever. Because as soon as something applies to them, the world has to listen to what they say.
Yeah.
But when the world does something remotely different to what they do, they like, nah, you gotta do what we do.
Absolutely.
That's how they move. That's why most of the time, like, Americans have like a very shit reputation all over the world. But even especially like, I bring up these Middle Eastern countries a lot because Americans go there and they like to disrespect people's culture and even break their laws.
Let's take it a step further. It's just like rejecting how a Xhosa person being a Xhosa or Venda person identifying as a Venda person or whatever.
To them, it's just all black.
It's just all black.
There's actually this one tweet that I saw where this lady is like, she's black. She's from South Africa. She's black. Basically saying anyone from Africa is black. I'm like, are you dumb? Are you not even thinking?
Are you mad? The stupidity. Crazy. The dumbness. Imagine. Gosh, man. No.
I mean, there's African white people, there's African Muslims, there's different Africans.
I think it's just
black.
the whole, they really think that Africa, firstly, is just a black people place, right? And everything is black except those little freckles of white or something there. And that's definitely not the case.
My main gripe with Americans is that they just like to impose their worldviews onto other people.
Yeah.
And then that makes them hypocritical at times because they don't want other people to impose their worldviews onto them.
Yeah.
And I hate that. That's y'all need to be more open to educating yourselves on other people's cultures and histories. We can't just live based on y'all. Like we don't move like that. And if Tyla wants to identify herself as a color, like she goes, like they keep telling her that she's black and everything, and she keeps correcting them and saying, "No, I'm a color." But,
and like I'm sure it's such an exhausting fight for her, to be honest, being that side. And like if it wasn't for her country also standing up for her, like I can only just imagine how like frustrating and stressful the situation is. So like how do you argue that when they say, okay, so am I colored when I come to South Africa?
No.
Like, no, you black because at home you are black.
Yes. You're not colored when you come to South Africa because colored is not only just
being you
biracial.
don't just change. Yeah, that's true.
It's not only being biracial.
Yeah,
colored
of course.
It's a whole culture.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they don't understand that they keep taking it to a biracial situation.
Because there are some people who are biracial and they're not colored.
They are not colored.
Yes. There are some biracial people in South Africa who identify as like Zulu, who identify as Xhosa, whatever, or who even identify as white.
Yeah.
There are some biracial people who are colored.
Yes.
It's not just.
And some colored people that are not just biracial, they come from generation to generation. Maybe it was there.
Yeah, it's not just about being mixed race or whatever.
It has nothing to do with the actual mixture. Well, now at least. Yeah.
So Guning, like, just educate yourself. Like, don't just be out here talking crazy. Because now, when you dismiss like people's identities, and then these people fight back, don't be mad.
Yeah.
I say don't be mad, and stop imposing your will on other people. It's not right. It's like now how I feel about the word colored. It's not about how you feel. It's not.
Yeah.
And y'all taught us that. You're the ones who taught us that. Uti, it's not about how I feel. If somebody identifies themselves as whatever,
it's not about your feelings. To respect that.
Yes, I need to respect. Y'all taught us that. Now all of a sudden y'all can't apply because it's your. Cool, man. Anyways, you guys let us know what you think about this whole situation.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like, subscribe.
And keep watching. Goodbye.
We'll check you guys in the next one.